Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I want to do a reading into a connection that was coming through really strongly. And I know that I just posted a collective reading video earlier today, and I feel that many of you who connect with this reading may connect with that earlier reading as well. So I will be leaving a link to that in the description box of this video also. But the connection coming through this reading is one that is highly spiritual. In most cases, this is going to be a twin flame connection. And I heard the words shared mission right as I said that. And I also just saw the numbers 444 on the clock as of when I am recording this video at 4:44 p.m. and it'll be posted a bit later. So all of this put together tells me that there's a lot of very synchronistic energy between yourself and this person. I feel that in the beginning of your connection, I'm hearing love story. You might have a very profound love story with this person. I'm getting the letters L and M. These could be in someone's name. I'm also seeing someone's hands or fingers. So I don't know if that connects with someone. Maybe there is something about holding this person's hand that was always very special to you in some way, or something about their touch. And from the love word scramble, I got the state name Illinois, so that could be connecting with someone. But do keep in mind that whenever I channel these specific names, dates, details, locations, etc., these are typically meant for certain individuals, so they may not connect with everyone perfectly. I'm seeing some kind of jewelry, potentially a necklace that someone may have purchased for the other. Okay, so the thing about your connection to this person is that it's never really over between the two of you, and yet for some reason at this point in time in the physical world, I feel there is some kind of distance or separation, and my guides are really emphasizing the word necessary, like this is a necessary separation between you at this time for a particular reason. Now, the confusing aspect of this is, and I particularly feel that this is a confusing factor for the Divine Feminine, is that she has this very strong awareness that the two of them have incarnated here with some kind of shared mission. Now, when I use that word mission, that can have a very specific connotation, but I want this word to be applied in a general sense as well. A shared destiny, if you will. And my printer just made a beeping sound in confirmation to this shared destiny that you have with this person. So I'm shuffling the energy oracle cards. This shared destiny, by the way, it could be something very specific. It could be starting a family together, a business together, having a particular kind of relationship in the physical. But for others of you, this could be much more general. This could be sharing this bond of deep, unconditional love that then becomes like this beacon that radiates out this love energy to everyone and everything around you, that creates this kind of ripple effect of love, so to speak. And this is what your souls intended to do. I'm seeing rain outside my windows, so rain might connect with your connection, but that also can speak to this time of separation, bringing tears for one or both of you. I'm actually very strongly feeling the tears for both of you, the emotions coming through for both of you. And yet, when you're together, there is such a warmth and a comfort on a really deep level that really is like a coming home, because you do share the same core soul frequency if you are twin flames. And this person feels it too. I feel their higher self saying, I feel it too, divine feminine. If you are a divine feminine listening, this person really wants to come through strongly and say that they feel the connection every bit as strongly as you do. For some reason, this person is pointing to their wrists, and I'm seeing almost this imagery of someone's hands being tied. Wow, that felt like a really emotional message for someone, because what I'm seeing is a divine masculine's higher self, meaning his spiritual, highly conscious self that he may or may not yet be fully embodying in the physical. Although I'm hearing a car engine, and that can be a synchronicity pointing to the fact that things are really revving up spiritually within this masculine. He is going through an awakening that is building a lot of momentum. But I feel this masculine saying, in the physical world, in my 3D human self, my hands are tied right now. It's almost like being tied up in something that must be resolved before the two of you can fully come together. I was also hearing the name David earlier for someone, and something about Ernest Hemingway, the author. And so one of you might actually be a poet or an author or a philosopher. Alternatively, this could be speaking to the fact that your love and your love story truly transcends time and space. It's what the greatest writers in human history have been trying to find the words to describe and explain, and yet it entirely denies being explained. In fact, the more you try to grasp at it or explain it or understand it, the more elusive this connection seems to become, because it wasn't something meant to be understood. It has always been and is something that is meant to be felt deep within you and sensed and lived and experienced and unfolded. I got the name Ryan or Ryland or some name with an R-Y-L-A-N. Those could be letter initials in someone's name. So I'm going to title the video a message from someone coming through very strongly here. And the message is, this isn't over, but you must focus on yourself. And this message was actually the hinge point message that really inspired the rest of this reading, because it's what came through so strongly from a divine masculine. By the way, I do channel many different people and connections throughout these readings, so only take what connects with you personally, but we are all co-creators here, co-manifesting these readings and these videos. So if you would like to play a more active role in that co-creation, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as this does allow me to pick up more strongly on your energy. And I got the name Shelia or something with an SH for someone as well. Okay, so I feel that the message we just channeled into, that I said really inspired this reading, the message, this isn't over, but you must focus on yourself. This is really coming from a divine masculine's higher self, but it's something that his physical 3D self isn't fully aware of at this time. I'm hearing that his physical 3D self has been put in what his guides are calling mental jail or spiritual jail, emotional jail. He's been put in a kind of time out, spiritually speaking, because things got very off track within himself and his energy, particularly around his sacral and his heart chakra. I feel the sacral wound being a very deep abandonment wound that actually could have started. I just saw the number 1010 for someone. Also, I'm seeing something about the season of fall that might be connecting with you. So this masculine with action in the reverse position was so afraid of making a wrong move or making a mistake. Really, this all comes down to fear of abandonment via rejection. So we could call this a rejection wound, an abandonment wound, but it feels like it runs really deep, potentially most likely into his childhood where he was rejected in some way. I'm getting for some, they may have felt rejected by their birth parents. So someone here may be adopted and they felt a sense of rejection from their birth parents. Someone else that I'm picking up on here may have felt rejected by their peers. They felt unusual to their classmates because they were different. They were softer and more emotional beneath the surface, but they artificially presented themselves as being tough and being hardened in order to get by in the world. But what happened is the mask became them over time. This is just, the messages are so intense tonight. Their hardened exterior that they presented to the world in order to survive actually began to affect their energy at a deeper level because they wore a mask for so long that at some level they forgot who they were. And I'm hearing a stranger. At some point in your relationship, this person may have started acting or behaving in ways that caused you, Divine Feminine, to feel as though you were talking to a stranger, which is very ironic because at a deeper core level, your souls are highly familiar with one another. So how strange it must have been for you to be feeling as though when you were interacting with this person, putting on this mask until it became them, putting on this hardened version of themselves, closing off their heart. This caused you a lot of pain because you were looking into the eyes, looking at the person of the physical incarnation of this soul that you have been following through lifetimes. Really, the following has been mutual. You followed each other through lifetime after lifetime. But in this one, this person again wore a mask for so long out of self-protection that they forgot who they were at this conscious level. And the thing is, your souls had planned for both of you to remove the masks that you'd put on upon meeting in the physical world. And I see that you, Divine Feminine, went through that ego death. I got the name Gabrielle for someone, but that could be connecting with Archangel Gabriel as well. I'm seeing that you, Divine Feminine, did the painful introspection work. You went deep within yourself and you went through a spiritual awakening that was incredibly intense and challenging and was actually triggered by this Divine Masculine. And his awakening, by the way, was triggered by you as well. This was very mutual. I'm seeing the number 555, which represents rapid change. So the thing is, this masculine had worn that mask for so long and held so much fear in his being that he was very resistant to allowing that process energetically to take place within him, to allow that unmasking, so to speak, to take place. And I see that your guides carved out this period of time where the two of you were more connected in the physical world during the time that the Divine Masculine was still resisting some of his inner work, some of his healing, and you, Divine Feminine, were continuing to grow and expand. But your guides jointly kind of created this container, created this space in the physical world where the two of you, although you, Divine Feminine, were growing faster, much faster spiritually, the two of you could still be physically connected for a time. I don't know why I heard 3 chances, like that this masculine's guides gave him 3 chances to do his introspection work with you in connection in the physical. But after the 3rd time that he went back into the same mistakes, he was put in this kind of spiritual jail, this spiritual time out, where there was this separation put in place between the two of you so that you, Divine Feminine, could go towards your highest happiness, your highest healing, whereas the masculine could have this space carved out to essentially be fully pushed into that introspection work that he hadn't been willing to do in the past. And I see that having taken place. And again, the confusion element here is that you, Divine Feminine, have known all along what this connection was, whether you had the words to describe it or not. You always sensed that there was something to be done here on earth with this person. But ultimately, for a time, your guides led you away to fully push this masculine into that inner healing work that he had been refusing to do, because during that time where the container was carved out in the physical world, where the two of you were physically allowed to remain closer together, although one was growing much faster than the other, the thing is, during that time, you, Divine Feminine, were not reaching your full power and potential. Yes, you were growing. Yes, you were expanding. But with the Goddess of the Moon card reversed, I see that. And of course, with action reversed, sitting on the Divine Masculine's energy, representing this inaction, the more the masculine was sitting in inactivity, in stagnancy, while in physical connection with you, the more that you, Divine Feminine, were living in this disempowered state of being, which again is ultimately why your guides coordinated this temporary period of separation, this so-called time out. And now it feels as though the future has become much more fluid, meaning, yes, there was this shared soul intention, this shared timeline. And I see that timeline that contains a shared destiny still being available to you if you decide, Divine Feminine, that that is what you desire. But you do have choices and options that were not open and available to you in the past. And the reason your guides have presented you with these options is because through the Divine Masculine's stagnancy here, it has detached the both of you from this one set timeline of this specific looking shared destiny and opened up a lot of alternative but equally high vibrational timelines, potentials, outcomes for you. And I'm hearing you, Divine Feminine, are being pushed to remember that you really create and design your life to order, that you truly are the conscious creator of your life. And at the same time, you still, even if you are separated, share a very strong connection to this Divine Masculine's higher self, which is how you've aligned with this video. Even if you are not or were not previously subscribed to this channel, this video may have come up for you randomly on your YouTube feed or your timeline. I feel that will happen for many people with this particular video because the Divine Masculine you're connected to has a higher self that is highly spiritually conscious and aware, even if he in his physical human form is forgetting or is wearing a mask. And that higher self of the Divine Masculine wants to say that now is the time for you, Divine Feminine, to fully empower yourself. In fact, if you were to attempt to bypass this coordinated separation, to force some kind of a physical connection before the time is ripe or ready, this would actually delay the spiritual expansion that you both are going through at this time. And the best thing you can do both for yourself, for this masculine, and for this connection is to focus wholly and completely on yourself with door to personal healing and happiness in the upright position. And to go towards your highest happiness, your highest joy, to allow those feelings of joyfulness, of laughter, of exhilaration, of passion to guide you. I'm hearing your guides say, you are free from suffering, Divine Feminine. You suffered a long time. You self-sacrificed a long time. The Divine Masculine's hands may still be tied at this time, and you, as the highly empathic being that you are, might feel sympathy for that, and that is normal and natural, but he must undergo his own healing process while you allow yourself to go towards your highest happiness in this life, whatever that looks like for you. And actually, although at times your human self may tell you that by going towards your highest happiness, you are somehow abandoning this person or this connection, this Divine Masculine's higher self is coming through this reading to remind you that that couldn't be further from the truth. That in truth, because you and this other soul share the same core soul frequency, meaning on this web of consciousness, you aren't just connected, you are in the same place. You are, if you imagine everyone as a dot on this giant consciousness web of interconnectedness, you have these dots that are overlaying each other, so to speak. And so anything you do positively for yourself directly positively benefits the whole, yes, by ripple effect, but it most dominantly benefits those who are most closely connected to you on this web of consciousness. And this Divine Masculine is the most closely connected to you. So when you choose self-love, you are assisting this Divine Masculine in loving himself more profoundly. And when you choose happiness, you are opening up greater joy and higher vibrational experiences for this Divine Masculine as well. And again, if I'm hearing once you've focused fully on yourself and begun to embody more and more of this most powerful version of yourself, if you at that point do decide that you desire to reconnect with this masculine in the physical, I see his higher self saying, I will be waiting and available for you there on your highest timeline. Trust the process, trust the timing of your life, because you actually set that timing in motion as a soul prior to incarnating here on this earth. So, wow, very intense messages coming through this reading. I really didn't expect to be doing this reading today, but I felt really strongly pulled to the cards tonight. So thank you to whoever out there listening pulled forth and manifested these messages from me today. And I would love to hear from you in the comments if anything did connect with you personally. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I often post twin flame as well as Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine updates and information. The final card I have is so fitting from this Starseed Oracle deck, and this is the Blue Flame. Spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. And what I feel this card saying is you and this other soul have gone through the activation. Now it's time to integrate, meaning to fully recalibrate and balance your inner Divine Feminine and inner Divine Masculine energies, coming into that deep union within yourself, what we sometimes call the 5D union, that will then pave the way into whatever reconnection in the physical you might desire to cultivate with this person. So thank you so much to all of you who have tuned into this reading. Again, let me know under the video if any message here was for you. Otherwise, I am sending you so much love. I'm wishing you a beautiful day, and I will talk to you again in the next reading.